so we'll begin. Thank you everyone for coming to today's tour of BigMarker. So we are going to go over the basics of BigMarker and cover some of the updates we've done recently, as well as some of the other things you can use for the platform. So today's presentation is brought to you by the fine folks here at BigMarker, including myself. I am Joe, and you can reach me at joe@bigmarker.com, and Andy at bigmarker.com as well. So we are your community heroes, and basically our tasks here at BigMarker go from anywhere from support to community management to outreach and helping you find people to attend your webinars. So Andy specifically is our support guru, and I am the, marketing ninja. I don't know what we call ourselves anymore. So if you need help with support, Andy's usually the one to help you out with that, and I am the one if you need help with getting people into your conference room, that you contact us for those different reasons. So what is BigMarker? Just to give you a background about BigMarker is we are the place for you to host webinars for free with up to 100 people. So the idea with BigMarker is we have a fully functional tool where you can basically do everything from scheduling your webinar to inviting people to your webinar to having people attend it, record it, and then watch the recording later, all in one place. And then two, we even give you a group platform built around this so that you can keep hosting webinars in the future and have the same audience you would like to keep reaching. So the idea is we've combined this group platform with the web conferencing platform. So it basically allows you to meet face-to-face and then stay connected between these meetings. So that's kind of the idea behind BigMarker. So once you join, you create these groups, and then it's these groups that actually host these video conferences. So it's much like meetup.com where they do the same thing. So how do we help people? Here are two examples of communities on BigMarker right now. We have DoctoralNet and Jackson Career and Life Coaching. Both of these two groups are using BigMarker very similarly. For example, DoctoralNet will host classes where they actually have classes on how to do resume writing or finishing your thesis or coming up with a research strategy, where up to 100 people can attend for free. And then from there, they've been able to do one-on-ones with the particular client they'd like to actually move forward with. Somebody who's really interested, they can do almost like a Skype-like session where it's a one-on-one. For Jackson Career and Life Coaching, one of the things they found has been nice is to engage their members in a new way. So they have this email list, they have Twitter followers, they have Facebook friends, etc. And those people connect with them on a static level. So it's just, here, read my blog post, read my content. Well, BigMarker allows this face-to-face interaction. So you can actually see the people, so you can say hi, they can see you. You both know that each other are real. So it gives a more valuable interaction than just, hey, here's a tweet I posted. So that's kind of the idea with them. And also, too, attracting a new audience. One of the cool things about BigMarker, and one of the things I really like, is our homepage and our find page give you as the host or you as the attendee to find or promote your webinars. So you can find webinars or you can even promote webinars on our homepage. So this is what our homepage looks like. If we zoom in, we can see that at the top we have featured conferences, we have upcoming webinars and conferences as well. And basically these are able for anybody in the public to want to attend. They can actually attend these conferences. It's really great. It gives them the ability to actually see all the upcoming conferences. And for you as a potential host to get a new audience. So people are coming to BigMarker every day. They see one of your events and they say, hey, I really do want to learn about resume writing. So they sign up for the event. So once you sign into BigMarker, let's go through the process of BigMarker. So we'll sign in. We'll go to the top. You click sign in. You end up on your homepage. So your homepage is your signed in home, and it looks very similar to the homepage in general because basically what it is it's basically all of the content you can interact with. So at the top, we have our upcoming conferences. So these are the conferences that you can attend that are either happening in the communities you're part of or what you've been invited to, or even what you're hosting. And you can see I'm hosting this in 4 days, so I can click to go host it or find it out. Or with this one, I can click to enter. Then below that, we have recordings where you can actually watch the recordings. So basically the idea is in this section, you can look through all of your recordings, see them, watch them in any given time you would like. So these are all your past recordings. And then below that, we have communities, which shows you the communities that you're part of. So we have the Big Forum, Team BigMarker, Community Organizers, etc. And these are all the groups that I'm actually part of. And we'll click in on one to get a closer look. So we'll go to the Community Organizers, so you can see what the community looks like. So this is our community organizers. These are the organizers on BigMarker that choose to join this group to learn more about how BigMarker works. At the top, we have all the different community tools. We have bulletin, calendar, conferences, members, about, and settings. So those are pretty basic to understand. Bulletins, your bulletin place where you can post updates. So here you can see posting updates, posting a poll, sharing files, things like that. Your bulletin's your space to keep everything interactive between these face-to-face meetings. Then we have the calendar, which is basically your place for you to see all of the upcoming and past conferences. Conferences does the same thing where you can see all of the upcoming and past conferences, but just in a different view. Then we have members, which shows you who's actually inside the conference room. Then we have the about, which shows you what the community is about. And then we have settings, which allows you to adjust your community settings. Most people on BigMarker, when they come to BigMarker, want to host video conferences. And from there, it's really easy to do. All you need to do to start hosting your first video conference is you can either at the top of the page click Host a Conference, or in your community, click New Conference. So we can click New Conference, and we'll get to our conference landing page. But before we get there, we'll go over some stats quick. Just to let you know, is conferences on BigMarker, you can host up to 100 for free. And if you'd like to do more than that, it is a paid charge, a paid fee, and that's up to 250 people. You can have up to 12 people sharing their webcams in this conference room. So right now we just have me, that's just one, but you can have up to 12. It's cloud-based, so that means it loads right in your web browser. I'm using Firefox, for example. I know Andy's using Google Chrome. You can also use Safari, Internet Explorer, Opera. As long as you're using the most updated web browser, you should be good to go. If you're using Internet Explorer 5, you are living in what is essentially the Stone Age, so please update your web browser. And also, too, some stats. Your communities can be an unlimited number of sizes, and we don't actually have licensing fees or licensing stuff for who can and cannot create webinars or conferences. So if somebody's part of your community, you as the organizer can give them the right to create conferences or webinars. So if you have an assistant or if you have multiple people creating these, have as many people as possible. So we get to our conference landing page, our conference creation page, sorry, and we'll go from the top to the bottom. So this is when you want to schedule a conference or a webinar. At the top, we give your conference a title. So this basically, you put the name of it. So you can put in, for example, this is called Tour Tuesday is what you're in now, but you can easily put how to write a resume. And then it starts actually creating a URL underneath here that you can customize as well. So it'll start actually creating one. And that makes it easier for Google to find it, etc. Then we do summary. So this is the summary of the conference. So this is what your conference will be talking about. Please fill this out completely. If you're hosting a webinar that you would like the public to attend, the more you can put in the summary, the better. Underneath that, we have the topics that you are covering. So these are all the different topics that you'd like to cover. So again, with resume writing, you could be covering cover letter, you know, the outline of your resume, how you write education, etc. To the right, we have the photos. So you definitely, if you're hosting a webinar, you definitely want to make sure that you use a photo because it makes your conference landing page look that much better. If you are just hosting a meeting, you don't really need a photo, but we always suggest a photo because it always brightens up the page a little bit. It makes it a lot easier when your attendees go to it to actually want to attend. Underneath that, we have the when. So this is scheduling the conference. You can either do it for now or in the future. Then we have hosted by on the left side. So hosted by, we have the community. So again, your community needs to be part of the hosting group. So you can select the communities you like to host from in here. Then we have the presenter. So you can actually select who is the presenter inside the room. So for example, Andy and I are the presenters of this conference. So we would be in there. Sorry, give me 1 second. And then on the right, we have our conference options. So the conference options go as privacy. So we have public or private. So if you're creating a public conference, anybody in the world can attend a public conference. They're shown on BigMarker's page. So that's just something to note. And then on the private section, we have private conferences. So this is basically, you can create a conference that you have to be invite only to attend or only group members can attend. Below that, we have the format of the room. So there's two room formats. We have the webinar room, which is what we're currently in right now. The webinar room gives the host more administrative controls. So, for example, I have your webcams and mics turned off. You can't actually share your webcams and mics. because I just want it to be on myself and Andy for right now. So that's the nice thing about a webinar controls is you can actually control those and the room lock. If it's a meeting room, meetings are more of a free-for-all. So everybody inside of a meeting room is an administrator. So the idea is if you're hosting a meeting, then anybody can get in and hit record. Anybody can get in and start sharing their presentations, etc. Then we have capacity, smart spots, language. So you can actually select the language the conference is in. You can actually then select the location of your conference. So we have conference servers on a few different continents. So we have one in North America, South America, East Asia, Southeast Asia, Europe, and Australia. So depending on where you are located and where your attendees are located, you can actually select the conference server that's closest to you and or your attendees. So if you happen to be in the UK and 100% of your attendees are in North America, you would select the North American server, and then your attendees would have a much better experience. However, if you're all in Brazil, you can select our South American server and have an enjoyable experience from South America. Then the next one we have upload recording to YouTube. So we have a feature on BigMarker where you can upload it to our YouTube channel. So it goes to BigMarker's YouTube channel. It does not go to your YouTube channel as of yet. This is still a feature we are developing to make it so that it goes to your YouTube channel in the future. Then we have sell tickets. So we have the ability to charge admission. So people have to pay a ticket price to attend, $5, $10, $100. You have to have a ticket to attend, and you have to have a ticket to watch the recording. Or allow chip-in. Chip-in's a newer feature on BigMarker, and the idea with chip-in is that it allows people to essentially donate money to attend the webinar. So it's free to attend, free to register, but you as the attendee can choose, hey, I'd like to donate $5 before or after the conference to the mission of this group. Below that, we have our selecting of the conference room. So we have a new conference room on BigMarker. It's in beta. Our new conference room is awesome. It's great. It's wonderful. It's what's going to eventually replace our standard conference room. We'll get to the new one later, but if you'd like to select which room, you do it here at the bottom. We're in the standard room right now. Tomorrow we have a webinar in the new room if you'd like to see that. Schedule a conference. So we hit schedule a conference, and we'll move on to the next conference part. And this is the conference landing page. So the conference landing page is very easy to go through. It's a lot like the creation page. At the top, you have your enter. So it's really easy to figure out if you can enter this conference. It says it right here, enter webinar, big button to push. You can even do your little view full system test. The nice thing, too, is this lets you know if you're failing the test before you even get into the room. So you're alerted beforehand what's wrong. So if you land on this page, it does tell you, hey, I need to upgrade this or update that. Then we have the title of the conference. We have an edit conference button above the title. So if you ever need to edit the conference or cancel the conference, you go to the edit section up here, and you can edit the conference, and you're good to go. Then we have the date and time, the description, the topics covering, your image, the invite section, the community who's hosting it, the presenters who's hosting it, a place to ask either presenters questions or post updates. You can see who's registered. You can even go through and see who's been invited. The nice thing about the new registration and invited section is if you click and start looking around there, you can actually see who has and has not opened their invite emails. I do not have a slide for that on this particular presentation, but if you would like to know more about that, we did have a conference a few days ago in this community that goes into that more fully, and you're more than welcome to watch that recording. So we'll talk about invites quickly. So the invites to your conference is in that far right section. So again, right here, this is what it looks like zoomed up. So we have zoomed in. So we have being able to share it on Facebook, Google+, LinkedIn, Twitter, right there. Just click it and you're ready to go. Then below that, you can actually invite others by email. So you could type in the email. You can even add in a new subject line and then email the people, filling out the middle of this too. Send invites. You can import your contacts. So if you'd like to import 100 contacts to invite, you can do so right there. Then we have embed on your website. So if you click this, it'll actually tell you how to embed on your website. It'll click the copy and code, and you can actually go through and embed it on your website. Below that, we have more share buttons, an add to calendar button, and a create a Facebook event button. So you can actually create and add it to Facebook. So that's the cool thing is once you've created your Facebook event, You can then invite all of your Facebook friends to attend your Facebook event. And then on the day of the conference, again, we have an enter conference button. You can click it to enter, and you're right in the conference. This enter conference button will show up 30 minutes before for hosts and 15 minutes before for attendees. I cannot stress enough how important it is to show up early. Unless you are a wizard or a pro on the system, please show up a half an hour before or at 15 minutes at the bare minimum so you can make sure that your audio, your video, and your presentation actually show up. You'd be surprised how often webinars are derailed, web conferences are derailed because the host shows up exactly when it's supposed to start and finds out that, hey, their PowerPoint is not converting like they had hoped. So please show up early. And also, too, if you can, the nice thing about BigMarker, you can host them in a limited number of web conferences. You can make them private, and you can host as many test conferences as you like. And if this is one of your first times using it, please host test conferences to make sure things are working before you actually host. We cannot stress that enough, because if they aren't working, you feel free to email Andy and myself, and we can get you started up. Cool, so I'm going to answer some quick questions, make sure there's anything on here. If anybody has any questions about creating a conference and the community up to this point, feel free to ask them right now while I take a drink of water. So, does the new conference room require Chrome for both presenters and attendees? Yep, it's 100% Chrome right now. The new beta room, you have to be on Chrome to enter. You can enter on an Android device. I've seen people do it. We do not support it. So that's a big distinction between supporting and being able to do something. So just if you do enter on an Android device, just know that we do not support it. So you probably can't share your audio and video very well, etc. Our plan is to start building mobile apps for the new conference room, which I can get into that a little bit in a little while. Can I host a webinar or meeting for 3 hours with participants from Europe and the US at the same time? Yes, you can. You can host up webinars up to 4 hours on BigMarker, so that's the limit we impose is a 4-hour limit. So basically, once you hit the 4-hour limit, the webinar will start shutting down. We give you an extra hour, half an hour buffer at the end, so it's 4 hours and 30 minutes. So yeah, so you can host a 3-hour webinar if you'd like. You're more than welcome to. There's nothing against doing that. We'll host long ones every once in a while here, so that's just something to know. It depends which server would be better, Europe or in the US. It depends on how many people are in your conference. Are from which place. So if you have more people in the US, I would do in the US. It's 50-50 share. I would probably do the US server because it's a better server. That would just be me then if it's 50-50. I would also try it. If you have time, I would test it out beforehand and do a test run on the European server and a test run on the US server to see how it goes. Can I drive a conference full screen? There's a great app called Haiku that has online controls. I don't know, Ron, what you're actually asking. Can you be more specific about that question? And then hopefully I can answer it when we're talking about the actual conference room, which is right now. So this is the conference room. Once you've entered as a host, this is what you will see. This is a demo screen, basically, where you can actually share your audio and video without it publishing. So basically what it is you can actually see what you look like in the camera. You can test your audio levels and then switch out your mic and cam from the screen if you need to. And then all you need to do is hit done, continue to enter the room. And once you've entered the room breaks up into 4 basic areas. We have the page layout at the top, options tabs also at the top, your settings at the far right, bottom right, and then the share media, which is in the complete middle of the page. So the share media is where you publish your webcam, so that's me. It also is where you publish your presentation or your desktop is shared. At the top, we have the page layout. There's 3 page layouts. There is group, focus, media. So currently right now we're on the media. If I were to click group, which is group right now, it switches to just my big head. So this is me. This is, I guess, what I look like. And then if we do focus, it's the same thing. They just publish your webcams in a different way. So if Andy had his webcam published, you would see the difference. And then we have back to media. So that's media. One cool thing about the webinar option is there's a little lock button right here. So I actually have it locked. So when I switch it, it switches it for everybody in the lock button feature. If I were to unlock it, you would be able to, as attendees, go through and lock. Then we have the options tabs, and then we have the your settings. So on the far right, the your settings. We'll go over options tabs last. So your settings are your control panel. We have the webcam, the mic. They are turned off for you because I have them turned off because, again, you see the attendee controls here are switched to off. So I can switch those on, and you would be able to share your webcam and mic. Again, those are down here. You have a little mute button, a raise hand button. So these are your controls. If you'd like to see a few more controls, there's a little pinwheel here, and that pops up, and that allows you to actually select what webcam and microphone you'd like to go through. So the options tabs, so that's, again, the far right is these options tabs. The first one you'll start off is the chat tab. So this is where you type in your chat. You can start chatting. You type in here. You click to send. The big thing to note with the chat tab is that if you are chatting, you can actually select a different color to chat. So you just do that in this little black box right here. So you can actually select that you'd like to do a blue or a seafoam green, etc. And you can chat in those different colors. So if you like to distinguish your chat from somebody else's, feel free to select a color to do so. You click send. The next tab is our people tab. So this shows you who's actually in the room. And they each have different little character things going on next to them that actually signify what's going on with them. If you see a star, they're an administrator. If you see a little audio sign, that's who's actually sharing their audio, and it'll blink up if they are actually sharing it at that given time. It shows a little camera on who's actually sharing their camera, and then next to their name, it'll actually say who's actually using the presentation screen setting, so who's using this little drawer tool. You know, if I wanted to draw, you could see that it was Joe that's drawing. And then two, if you want to, you can scroll over people and give them control of the room or kick them out of the room. Then we have the presentation screen. So this is your share screen. So you share. You cannot see this as attendees, but we as presenters can see this. This is the place where you can upload your presentation. You can upload as many presentations as you would like. So if you get in here half an hour early, you can start uploading presentations. We suggest uploading everything as a PDF because they show up better in the conference room. We, again, use PDFs here all the time. But you can feel free to upload PowerPoints, Excel spreadsheets, Microsoft Word documents, images, etc. Below, then we have desktop sharing. Just to note, in the standard conference room, which is where we're in now, desktop sharing is not part of the recording. So it will not, N-O-T, be recorded in the new room, in the standard room. So you can click desktop sharing to start sharing your desktop. It's a little Java applet. Faster your internet, the better your desktop sharing. Then we have the record section, which you click record, and then you go over and basically you go through, want to record this. You click record, and you're recording. It's really easy. Start and stop system. Once you hit start record, it starts recording. Once you hit stop record, it stops recording. It does not automatically record, so if you forget to record, you're kind of out of luck. So that's just something to note, that if you are going to record, make sure to record at the beginning. Do not forget. Write yourself a little note that says, I need to record this. We do not auto-record for privacy reasons. You get into a lot of tricky legal questions if you auto-record. Once you've recorded your conference, the recording posts to your conference landing page where you can watch the recording at a later date. So basically the idea with here is you have a little area where you can hit play. It's the same link that it's the same link that you go to edit, to enter, to register, to attend, and to watch the recording. All the same link uses for all those different states. So we've tried to make it as easy as possible for you so that basically you only have to remember the one URL. You can click play to play, share. You can there's an embed button too if you're signing in. So now we'll go through the future of BigMarker. So we'll talk about the new room. So this is our brand new room. We just published it the other day. It's exciting. It's in beta right now. Basically, you can conference with up to 25 people. You can share 4 webcams. It allows screen and YouTube and presentation sharing. It's real sleek. It works wonders. You do need to be on Google Chrome for it to work. That is the only web browser we are supporting right now. So it does not work on any other web browser. You need to be on a desktop. You need to be on Google Chrome. And then once you're on that, it's real sleek. It's a brand new technology called WebRTC. To get a little nerdy on you, it's built in HTML5. There are a handful of companies in the whole world using this particular technology, including Google and also including BigMarker. So this is very exciting for us and everybody else. This is the future of video conferencing. We're definitely a couple years ahead, but this is definitely going to be something that you'll see pretty much everybody start moving into soon. So it's exciting. This is the forefront of webinars. So this is what the new room looks like. You can see at the left side, it publishes the webcam. Then we have like an attendee and chat right in the middle. And then at the far right, there's actually a really cool administrative control panel where you'll be able to, and you can, select who can and cannot share their audio and video, which is awesome. You can go through and just click on their little webcam and mic and give them the ability to share, or give them the ability, or take away their ability to share. So if you have one attendee you would like to have share their voice, you can. It's really cool with that. We have the group chat, which allows you to actually tag people, do emoticons. Eventually you'll be able to do surveys. It's really awesome. At the top, we have a really simple banner now where you can actually share your webcam and mic. The cool thing about the new room is the webcam and mic are hooked into one stream, so the mouth moving and the sound transmitting is much closer. It's almost 100% in sync. It's hard to do 100%, but it's definitely in sync. It's hard to tell that they're not. Then we have the cam sharing, which you can actually, you could still share just your microphone, mute yourself. We have screen sharing. It's super fast. It's part of the recording. So screen sharing on the new room is part of the recording. We also have YouTube sharing, so you can actually share a YouTube video. So if you would like to watch a YouTube video, you're more than welcome to. You have invite from the room, and then also an exit button as well. And we even do have an end conference room button and a record button as well in the new room. So this is me sharing my screen, so we can see people are chatting. This is sharing Google Maps, and it looks exactly like Google Maps. We're going through and looking at this particular park. This is Dawes Park here in Evanston, Illinois, just north of where we work, quite a while north, but it's still a nice park. And basically you're sharing the screen right here. Everybody's following along with you. Your video cam's published underneath. So there's me sharing my screen. And then here's watching a YouTube video. So this is something probably from the movie Up, so we can watch it all together. So if you have YouTube videos and things like that, you can make this webinar a multimedia experience so that it's not just me talking. It's not just a flat presentation. You can watch a video together. Then you can talk over the video. You can pause the video in the middle. It gives it a nice, cool experience for you. So coming soon to this new room, mobile apps, hosting your webinar from your own website. So that's going to be a really cool one. Presentation sharing, which actually just got published. So we do have that now. Since I actually have not updated this tour in a couple days, we've had presentation sharing get published. We also will have polling in the room and analytics. So mobile apps are coming. Currently, right now, it is not supported on any of those mobile devices. So please, if you do try to attend on them, you might be out of luck. We can't guarantee if they will or will not work. Also, to host from your own website. So we are creating widgets where basically you can embed something in your website where the conference room will launch from your website, so people can actually attend from your website compared to having to always come back to BigMarker. Finally, we'll cover a few more tidbits too before we get into a massive amount of questions that I can answer. How BigMarker pricing works. Again, it's free for up to 100 people. If you would like to sell tickets, it is a 13% fee, so every time you collect a due, sell a ticket, get a donation, BigMarker we take a percentage of that, and then 87 cents hits your account for every dollar is the idea. So it's a really good deal for you. This is way less than what Google, Apple, all those other companies charge for processing money. If you need more, you can go pro for $40 a month. That gives you up to 250 attendees. All the standard features plus more, your logo inside the webinars, and also to priority customer support. So if you need more help from Andy and myself, you do need to upgrade to the BigMarker Pro version. And finally, BigMarker versus the others. So we get compared most often to GoToMeeting or Google Hangouts. GoToMeeting is expensive. It's hard to use as a download. Google Hangouts, you have to have a Gmail account. You have to be part of Google Plus. You have to do all this other stuff just to get 10 friends in a room. Also, Google offers zero support. In fact, probably negative support because it's kind of actually hard to find their support topics on their website. And then two, BigMarker, the differences between us is we are trying to make this as easy as possible. That's kind of why it's the one-stop shop for the whole group aspect, the recording, etc. Browser-based, we know downloads are not all that fun, especially if you have somebody that's a little computer illiterate or having problems with the firewall. You can have up to 12 people in here, 12 webcams with 250 participants. You can use any email to register or attend as a guest. And we have support from a human being. His name's Andy. He's also on this chat. Support from me, too. I'm also a human being. So you can actually contact people that, will actually talk to you back as a human being, which is great to hear. We pride ourselves, Andy and I pride ourselves on our support, etc. So if you have any more questions at a later date, feel free to follow us on these different places. You can connect with us on our Help Center blog, YouTube page, Facebook, Twitter. And you are more than welcome to email us at andy@bigmarker.com or joe@bigmarker.com, and we can get back to you as soon as possible. So cool. So I see that we have a few questions. Is there anything specific, Andy, that I should answer right now? It looks like you've answered quite a few of them. Do we have a time frame mobile use and also for web browser launching? I'm assuming you mean website launching. We have a time frame for neither. It's pretty hard to predict exactly when those will be done. We're hoping in the next 6 months is the main plan. We will, from what I have been told from our engineering team, we are moving forward with Android before we move forward with Apple just because of how those particular machines work. I guess it's much easier for us to get on Android first and then Apple second. So we are planning to move forward with those. We don't have an exact timeline. As soon as we know, we can post in the community organizers and let people know. But until we have an exact time, it's hard to exactly say. Well, thank you both, Kevin and Chris, for attending. Please feel free, again, to email us if you have any questions. Please feel free to ask any questions you have here now about the future of BigMarker, anything I covered, any questions you have about the community, anything that you'd like to have, feedback, etc. This is the time to let us know while we are in here for the next couple minutes for you. Also, to let everybody know too, we do have I'm putting in there a link for our new conference room tour. So that is tomorrow. We'll do that one tomorrow. And I think I'm going to start switching these tours from that room to this room, the new room. I think I'm going to start putting in the old room. Sorry, change the standard room to the new room in these tours. We also have our troubleshooting for the new room. So if you need to have help troubleshooting for the new room, there's that link too. So the idea with that is, with this community that we've done is the tips, tricks, and more and tours community is the idea that the every Tuesday we're going to have a tour. So if you have basic questions about BigMarker, need a refresher, every Tuesday we're going to have a tour. Feel free to send people here. It's at 11 a.m. Central. We're going to keep it at the exact same time every week so that it's easy for you. If you need private tours, feel free to email us, and that can take up to, we need at least 24 to 48 hours to schedule a private tour just because of how our schedules are set up. So please, please, please give us time if you need a private tour. And then on Thursdays, we're doing troubleshooting Thursdays. So at the same time, if you have questions about BigMarker, if something's not working for you, feel free to stop by the troubleshooting and we can help you out. Feel free to suggest a topic. We want to do the troubleshooting ones a little bit more specific. So we've done webinars on how to edit your conference room, how to attend a conference, things like that, where we can get into just one specific topic. So if you do have a topic you'd love to have covered in troubleshooting, please feel free to let us know and we can easily create a presentation for that. Okay, so we have a question by Ron. So to control the presentation of the PDF slides, we use the BigMarker's control panel. Correct. So right now, I am in control of the control panel. So this is me. Only one person at a time can be in control of this control panel. So Ron, if I make you the presenter, so here's Ron. I'm going to give Ron control. So Ron, you're now the presenter. You have control of the thing. So you can switch slides. You can upload a new image if you wanted to. You can start drawing on the thing. You can click to go in the controls. The controls are right above my head, right up here. So the controls are right up in there. You should be able to see a new bar that showed up where you can actually flip presentation. So there you go. So there's your controls. So you control them at just that one given point in time, and then I can take them back whenever I'd like. Yep. So when you zoom in, it zooms in for everybody. When you draw on it, it draws on it for everybody. When you move your cursor around the page, it'll show a little red dot for everybody. Same thing with Word documents. You can upload Word documents, Excel spreadsheets, PDFs, etc. You can't type on it, though. We don't have the ability to do co-editing or anything like that. So it publishes as an image, essentially. Yeah, it'll zoom. So when you do use that zoom button, it'll zoom in on the Word document, so you can zoom in on the word choices. Zoom works the same thing as it does on here. Yeah, so when you, Michael, when you are as the presenter, there is a little tool panel. I didn't show it just because it's harder to illustrate on here, but basically your little control panel has an area where you can actually draw. So this is me drawing right here. Drawing. So that's how that works. It's like a little box with a squiggly line. I'll make you the presenter, Michael, and then you can see what it looks like for yourself. Michael, you are now the presenter, so feel free to draw on it. You should see on the bottom left-hand corner right here, a little box with a squiggly line. There you go. Questions about payment. Example, I host an event over 12 weeks with max 12 video participants who attend all 12 weeks in the same group. I charge $250 US and BigMarker. Get 13%. Did I get that right? Correct. If you process through us, it's a 13% fee. So that is correct. And you can do that as your community's paying dues, so you have to pay a due to be part of the community. You can do it as individual tickets for each conference. It's however you'd like to set it up. If you do ticketing outside of BigMarker, then that's up to you. You know, if you do ticketing outside of BigMarker, you're more than welcome to do that. We don't say you can or cannot. We just can't police who has paid or has not paid once they're outside of BigMarker. Ron, payment schedules via PayPal's time frame. Yeah, we do pay. So how we do payment schedules is if you need it expedited, we can expedite it, but we do a 30-day payment cycle. So once you've taken in your $250, it'll take 30 days for it to be processed and sent out. We do that so that if there's make sure there's no tomfoolery. We have had in the past where people have decided they wanted to host paying webinars and then the host not show up. So we just make it so that there's plenty of time for the attendees to complain about, if something happens. Make sure there's no malfeasance. And then it is sent through PayPal, or we can send you a check depending on what you would prefer. Checks take longer, though. And last but not least, on BigMarker, just to let you know, since we're so proud of all of the upcoming events as well, we have a really special, cool event happening soon. It's right here. Feel free to attend it. It is the preview of the David Bowie Is exhibit. So, the Museum of Contemporary Art here in Chicago, and the host of it, let me see what her name is again. Elena Grotto, the media relations manager there at the MCA, is doing a preview of their new exhibition, the David Bowie Is exhibition. It's going to be really great. There's already 60 people attending this event, so tickets are going fast. It's free to attend, but there is a limit on how much space we can go. So feel free, please, please, please register to attend. It's going to be a really cool event. It's definitely going to be one of the more exciting webinars in BigMarker at that on that day. It's very exciting. So they're going to be talking about David Bowie, his career, etc. It's going to be really cool. I mean, plus it's David Bowie. Who doesn't love David Bowie? Well, cool, everybody. So if nobody has any more questions, Andy and I are going to say au revoir, and have you all have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful day wherever you are located.